Hi everybody. I don't know what day this is. I'm gonna give up on the whole day thing, but I ended up taking the CPU board and the ROM board, making up a little JAMA adapter here for my test setup. Ian Kellogg used to make these, and I have a few extras. Hopefully he comes back and makes some more, or somebody else, because I really love those little JAMA adapters there where you can just wire the wires directly in like that for test setups. Anyway, pinned out the ROM board for power, the video, as well as the CPU power, and also the test and service switch, or really the advance and auto manual switch, which I can control. So what I figured we'd do is turn on the power and kind of show what it looks like. And that's what you get when it first powers up. It's going through probably a basic RAM test, I guess. And then it goes a blank screen and we have the 0. So that's the behavior we were seeing before. So what I'm going to do is actually put it in, press the advance button, and I think I'm in auto. The light went out, and now it's going to run, a RAM test for a while. And what I've found is that it actually will find a bad RAM as eventually this will freeze up. So we're watching it. I guess it's up, there it goes. So it ran for a while, and then we ended up getting 1, 2, 6. So it looks like we still have potentially a RAM issue, and then the test goes away. It's still, I think we have some other issues too, but I don't know, that's a behavior that I wanted to record and show. And I can replace that RAM and then I'll go back and run the test again, and it fails on another RAM. So I'm gonna go through and just go through these steps and see if it changes the behavior at all. Okay, I replaced the RAM right here, which is second row, chip 6. So 126 I replaced. We're going to power it on. And this must be like just a basic RAM test, I guess. It probably just does some basic checking. You get to 0, so that's the power on self test is completed, but we have a completely blank screen, so we know something's up. I'm going to go ahead and hit our advance button, and that should start the video test, or the RAM test, color RAM test, I guess. I have to read the manual to see what exactly it's called. But now this is going to just run until it finds I guess another bad RAM, and it's probably doing more extensive testing, I assume. And basically it will freeze when it finds something that's bad, I guess. So I'm expecting it to fail eventually. And again, the LED light is out at this time. Alright, I'm going to pause, and if it fails, I'll turn it right back on real quick. Okay, it just failed. 1, 1, 8. So let's replace that one, and then we'll go back and do it again. The screen just the 118 chip. Still have a blank screen. So let's go ahead and run our test again. I must have the manual auto and the auto. I don't have the exact switch, so. Okay, the light went out. We'll let this run, and I'll come back if it fails on something. I let it run for probably like 2 minutes, I think, last time, or something like that. Maybe 3 minutes tops before it aired out with a bad RAM. Oh dang, I missed it. Anyway, it did end up failing again, and it said at 118, which is 1 is memory, and this is position 1, I believe. Or is this position 1? 1, 2, 3, I think. Yeah. It should be this chip, so I had already replaced that chip. So I guess I'll try it again with a different chip. Okay, actually, this slot is 1. This goes 1, 2, 3. Made a mistake, so I went ahead and replaced that chip as well. Power on. One, 8. Okay. Okay, I was messing with it and swapping out RAMs, and you know, it would go back and forth between a 117 and a 118 error, and it was just completely random. And last time I went through this, I tested all these RAM in the Neolock good, and just on a hunch, because it's something easy that I could do, I went and I removed the Decoder Roms from here, Decoder Rom 6 and 4, and swapped them out with my Stargate Decoder Roms, and look what happens here. We'll power it up. Different startup screen there, as you can see. That's the normal, what the normal test would look like, and now we have all systems go, and we have our Joust up. So let me go ahead and figure out which one of these is bad, 4 or 6, or maybe let me clean up the legs. Actually, will that help? Actually, I'll swap them in just like they are. Actually, see that one, Decoder Rom 4, looks a little jacked up. Like the leg looks a little messed up there. I'm gonna straighten out I'm just gonna check them. I'm not gonna clean them. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna just put them in and see which one's bad, and then I'll clean the bad one. I think that's what I'll do. This is one of my Christmas gifts, I guess, based off of somebody on Claw posted like 20 great gift ideas for the arcade collector. This is a IC chip leg straightener. So you just put it in there and then just squeeze it together like that, I guess. And the leg should be pretty decent. So let's put that in and see what we get. That's right, Decoder Rom 4 is on, or is in. And we're looking good so far. See, I had an issue, I thought, with the Decoder Rom before. One of them, whether it's 4 or 6, and maybe it's just that the chips aren't that clean, or the socket is bad, or something like that. But I thought our initial RAM issue was solved by reseating the Decoder Rom. So let me do number 6 and then replace decoder 6. Power it on. That's the screen we should get on initial power on, not the one we were getting. All systems go. So now we're in business again. So either bad sockets, nothing happening. Bad sockets, or those chip legs maybe should be. Maybe I'll pull them out again and clean them up with a fiberglass pen just to eliminate that. But it was definitely just the Decoder Roms. I mean, that's what was giving us, crazy, just random different RAM errors. Got a blank screen on boot up, things like that. So just super strange. But it seems to be working now. Let's go through our service test here. All ROMs okay. Okay, yeah, I'm in auto mode, that's why. Yeah, so the way that RAM test was looking before is totally different than what it's supposed to look like. This is what the RAM test is supposed to look like. And it was from that Decoder Rom issue. And I bet if we just let it run, so while the test is running, the LED's out, is not illuminated. But I bet if we just let this run, all those RAM chips I'm sure are fine, like I suspected. Alright, I'm not going to, I'm going to remove those. I'm kind of glad it's something simple, because, you know, I got the logic probe, I hooked up, did this whole wire harness, not a complete one, but, you know, to power up the boards on the bench and everything. And I was not looking forward to trying to figure out what chip was bad. So, alright, it looks like we're back in business, at least for the time being. Talk to you soon. Alright, what did I do? Did I power it up with the new Decoder 4? Yeah, so put in Decoder 6 back in and cleaned it up. And here we go with our previous behavior with Decoder 6. So I'm going to take that out real quick, double check everything, and see if make sure the pins are making correct contact and everything. Okay, so reseated the same Decoder 6, and we're back in business. So maybe it wasn't making good contact or something. I don't know. So definitely something seems like this could be a partial issue there. Decoder 6 is what was the looks to be the problem, or was the problem anyway. So it's working now. Be right back. I'm going to reseat it one more time and just make sure that it's still good. Alright, everything still looks good. I mean, I don't have the interface board and stuff like that, so it's hard to get through the menus and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and put my Stargate Decoder Roms back in, and put these boards back in the Joust and see what we look like there. So I have everything hooked back up in the cabinet, powered it on, and we have no sync. And that is because I didn't know this when I did it, but I actually did the board modification so I could get negative sync. Where is it at? Yeah, it's right there. I just cut that trace right there to get negative sync instead of positive sync. I didn't know it was going to impact. I thought it was only going to impact the composite sync, not the separate horizontal and vertical, but obviously it is. So I need to solder a connection back up on that right there. So I wasn't going to do that, but now I won't in the future. I'll actually use an inverter chip or something like that and put it on my JAMA adapter. But anyway, that's I'm gonna have to solder that real quick. Okay, it took like 2 seconds to put a little bit of solder on there to bridge that connection back up. And there's our Joust. So we have a working Joust again, and it is working. Alright, so next step is control panel and finishing up that speaker grill. And but so far so good. So we kind of eliminated what our little issue was there and replaced the ribbon cable. Okay, so still have that sound issue, so I was going to add that some troubleshooting here real quick onto this video. The first thing I wanted to do is obviously verify that my connectivity from the soundboard to the ROM board is good. And there's, as I think in the previous video, there's 6 sound lines that are used, 7 total cables here, but 6 that are actually used. So what I first did was I figured out that it actually, the back of this connector gets tied to these resistors over here. So this is actually pin 1, and then the next one's pin 2. And the next one's pin 3. Right there. And then the next one's pin 4. But then pin 5 is actually the top resistor here. Right there. So I know, that we're probably good there. And then you can check that come all the way back to the ROM board connector and test it here. So that's 1, 2, 3. No, actually, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's connectivity there. And then we can see where that's at on the board as well. It shows you a little bit better. So it's not sequential. I think, I'm not sure which one's 1. Is this top one? No, that one's pin 1, and that's pin 5. So, you know, it's not like sequential that way, but I figured we know that, you know, there's basically connectivity and continuity on line 5 on both boards. So the next step I was going to do is hook up a logic probe and then get us into sound test mode and show you what that looks like. All right, so we have it in sound test mode. I'm just going to leave it on sound number 2. Actually, that's annoying. All right, let me run it all the way through. You see there's nothing playing on sound line 5. We'll leave it on 2. And then we'll come back here with our logic probe. And we'll show, this is pin 1 down here. Is it? That's what I wanted you to see. It's showing you high and then low. So it's like normally high and then goes low. I don't know why that one's not moving at all. Line 3. Yeah, same thing with line 3. 4. Oh no, this is 1 right here. Duh, that's why, okay. 1 is normally low. 2 is normally high. Same with 3. Huh, that's interesting. Alright, I'm on sound 5 in the sound mode. So this is 1. And it's hot. See, it looks like it changed, I think, the behavior. That's pin 1. High, then low. High, then low. High, then low. And this is 5. That's different than I was getting before. 6. Yes, and 7 is always high because it's not being used at all. But why is 6 low and then high? Because we're on sound line 5. And that must be sound line 6. That might be normal. I'm gonna go to sound number 6 and be right back. Alright, we're on sound number 6 now. And this is 1. That's a different behavior than we were seeing, right? High, low. High, low, 3, 2. 3 is the same. 4 is the same. Now 5 is low. And then high, which is the opposite. And then 6 is high, then low. I'm not sure if why 1 is low and then 1's high. It's like the opposite behavior. I'm going to see if that changes between lines 5 and 6 with different sounds. I'm going to go back to sound. All right, we're on sound number 1. line 1 is high-low. So yeah, it does change. Now line 2 is low to high. So it seems like it's the adjacent one has a different state. 7 doesn't do anything. So we're on sound 1 and pin line 2 is low to high. Interesting. Alright, be right back. This is sound line 2. Now we're low to high on pin 1. And the rest should be high to low. Alright, let me think about this a little bit more. One thing that I just noticed, sorry about that, is, see if you can see that capacitor right there. Now granted, it's probably not needed, but it is not in good shape. I think that's just the decoupling capacitor probably, but that's not in good shape. So I'm going to pull this soundboard anyway, and while I have it out, I'll probably swap my Stargate soundboard in there just to confirm the missing sound is actually an issue with the board. So be right back. Okay, I put the here's my Robotron. Put the Robotron soundboard in there, and we have sounds. Yeah. So you can see, and I swapped the ROM so it was the same sound. So sound line 5 is working now. So it looks like we have a problem with the soundboard, and I was testing continuity, you know, like from all the chips and everything like that. So there's one chip, so you can't really see it here. Basically, you have the, I'm pretty sure sound line 5 comes in here into this chip here, which is like, was that 7 something? I don't know. And then it gets inverted like twice. I'm not exactly sure why. And then sent to this PIA device here. So I think probably verify that this chip is working, and then I guess it's the PIA. I mean, that's the only other thing it could be probably. We know the ROM is good. So, all right, that's going to be a different video. Till next time, see ya.